Hello, this is Nick from Breaker Press Games, and today we're going to talk about burning luck in Dungeon Crawl Classics. Alright, so this video is being recorded by request. Jeff Malam and Some Call Me Steve75 both had questions about luck, and so I figured I would do a deeper dive into how burning luck works. Before we get into the thick of it, you can support Breaker Press Games by backing us on Patreon. This month, April, you will get the Outlier while supplies last. You will get the Coin Swallower and another pamphlet-sized thing that's going to be called Around the Common Fire. I was working on it today, and it is a collection of NPCs that you can use in your Dungeon Crawl Classics games. So, that being said, let's talk about burning luck. On page 95, they break it down very clearly on how burning luck is meant to be used. Now, it's understandable that people have questions about this. Luck is actually spread over 4 locations in the Dungeon Crawl Classics rulebook, and so if you only read page 18, you're not going to know what it says on page 95. So it's worth noting that it is spread across 4 sections of the book. So, a character can only affect their own die rolls. And this is something that is very unclear and it's very important. Why is that very important? Because, we talked about in the Luck and Wits video for Thieves, if you were to allow players to affect other characters' die rolls, then that would take away from the halfling's ability to share their luck with others. So it's very important to keep that in mind, that sometimes these rules exist in order to maintain the balance between different classes. So that being said, I had a situation over the weekend at GaryCon. A character was being attacked, and the monster rolled to hit, and they knew that they were going to die, so they were like, hey, can I modify the attack roll of the attacking creature? And the answer is no. You might have a sweetheart judge that would allow you to do that just to keep the story going, but nope, let the dice fall where they may. So in this case, a character can only affect their own die rolls. And what kind of die rolls can they affect? Well, the list on page 95 is attacks, spell checks, thief checks, saves, and even damage. So you'll notice that all of those up until damage are all things that are normally D20 rolls. So if you keep that in the back of your mind, can I modify a D20 roll? In almost all cases, I think the answer is yes. You're going to... One of the things that it says on one of the later sections is life or death situations. Where are you going to usually roll those life or death situations? Usually on a D20 roll. Checks, attacks, saves, that sort of thing. But people, because they usually associate it with D20 rolls, don't know or don't always think that they can apply it to damage. And when you're fighting that boss monster and you want to take them down, and you're, let's say you're super hopeful because you're rolling you've got a long sword and you're rolling a D8 and you roll a 1 and you're like, damn it, I wanted to take that boss monster down. Hey, there's an opportunity to burn a bunch of luck. At the end of the list, there's kind of a caveat, little thing that says, and other purposes. So, what are other purposes? Well, that really depends on your judge. An area that I would allow at my table, if, let's say, because Stennard is affected by torrential rains, and that's what's caused the famine in my setting, I have a weather table, and the weather table is varying degrees of rain, up until it's a D6 table, and it goes from a 1, which is torrential rain, all the way to a 6, which is a clear day. And if one of my players were like, I'd like to burn luck because I want to have a clear day, I'm sick of the rain, I would totally allow it because, hey, if that means that they're not going to have that crucial luck to use against my boss monster or whatever, I'm all for it. So yeah, other purposes, that's going to depend on the judge. Use your discretion. That's what you're there for. You're there to adjudicate discretion. So, that being said, a common question that comes up, and this was something that even I, for the first couple of years, I didn't really know where the hard line fell because I didn't go back and dig into the rules. Can luck be burnt before or after the dice rolls? And the answer to both is yes. Yes, you can declare that you want to use your luck before you make the roll, but the fact of the matter is you can use it after. And a lot of judges, I know my friend Jim Myers loves to quote one of his favorite judges, who I forget who it was, if it was David Beatty or who it was, and that particular judge would ask, "Are you happy with that roll?" Indicating that you've probably failed, but if you burn some luck, you might be able to make it. And so you can use that to tease out from your player. If they roll a 9 and they need an 11, they're like, okay, I'll burn 1 point of luck. And then you're like, are you happy with that? Because you can get them to bump it up a little more. I don't go egregious with that. I'm not the type of person that's going to try and get them to burn more than they need to use. But there are occasions where after they've been fighting a monster for a while and somebody wasn't paying attention because they were looking at their phone or something else disappointing and egregious like that, if they haven't figured out that the monster's armor class is 13 and they roll a 9 and they're like, yeah, I'll burn 2 luck, I'll be like, yeah, the monster's armor class is 13. There are going to be times where you're just going to be like, rather than going through the back and forth of trying to tease it out of them, you're just going to be like, this is the thing. Especially in a con situation where you might be running out of time or whatever. You want to play the situation by ear. But most of the time, I don't want to give people clear indication, especially when they're attacking a monster for the first time. I want them to, go through the give and take. So, that is burning luck. I hope that was helpful. If you have additional questions about burning luck, we can get into those. Just post them in the comments. I love doing these supplemental videos. I will be doing a separate video on getting luck back because there's a whole chart and a whole section in the page 360 of my edition of the Dungeon Crawl Classics rulebook, and I also have some opinions on that as well. Once again, if you want to support Breaker Press Games, you can support us on Patreon and get cool stuff in the mail every month. You can also go to our web store and pick up a Precipice of Corruption t-shirt. They are available now. And yeah, thank you for supporting indie games and indie game designers. This is Nick from Breaker Press Games signing off. You guys have a fantastic day.